Hello and welcome to Smaulgld's update on central bank gold purchases and central bank gold admonitions. Kyrgyzstan, we are covering for the first time. A country that borders China and Kazakhstan. Well, their national bank governor is urging their citizens to buy gold. The Kyrgyz central bank governor said his dream is for every citizen of Kyrgyzstan to own at least 100 grams of gold or 3.5 ounces, a modest amount. The Kyrgyzstan Central Bank itself holds just 5 ounces of gold, and that puts it at about 83rd amongst gold-holding nations. Now, it's a small country in terms of population and also GDP. It is a gold-producing country. However, if the central bank governor's dream is realized, gold holdings in that country would leap to 653 tons. Let's take a look. Now, according to a Bloomberg report, the central bank governor of Kyrgyz Central Bank expressed his desire that each citizen in his country save at least 100 grams of gold or 3.5 ounces. He said gold can be stored for a long time, and despite the price fluctuations on international markets, it doesn't lose its value for the population as a means of savings. He told Bloomberg, "I'll try to turn the dream into reality faster." Now, apparently, people in Kyrgyzstan saved their wealth in cattle. And this central bank governor is advising that they save instead in gold. Because gold lasts longer than cattle. Now, the Kyrgyz Central Bank currently sells bullion directly to its citizens in 1 and 100 gram bars. But, according to the Bloomberg report, they've only sold 140 kilograms, which is about 4,500 ounces. However, if the governor's plan were to be realized, the citizens of Kyrgyzstan would own about 650 tons of gold. That's a lot. That's a small country buying a small amount of gold for each citizen. But look where that puts them. I have here the top 10 gold countries, and I've added the Kyrgyz dream. And you see there, they would become the 9th largest gold holding nation, at least among central banks, if indeed each citizen of the 6 million were to somehow get their hands on 3.5 ounces of physical gold. They'd have about 21 million ounces or 650 tons. So that highlights that if small percentages of the population, I covered this in another context, that if 1% of the US labor force saved in silver, you might run out of silver. So that is why we have futures contracts and ETFs to keep people away from precious metals, because really, if even small amounts, or even a small country just instructed its citizens to buy gold or to buy silver, there would not be enough silver or gold to go around. That's not hyperbole. That is a fact. If you take the number of people in the world and you assign an ounce of gold or silver to each one of them, you run out pretty quickly. But in any event, that's what this bank governor of Kyrgyzstan wants to do. By the way, if you're interested in buying a little of that gold or silver yourself, please do so through the Smaulgld site. It's not investment advice, but if you made the decision to buy gold or silver, please check out the links below this podcast and also on the Smaulgld site where you can compare pricing and shipping. And if you do buy, Smaulgld gets a small commission. That's how we fund the site. You can also make a donation via PayPal, Bitcoin, or become a Patreon subscriber to help Smaulgld continue its work. Now, as of December 2000, that says 15, but that should be 16, the Central Bank of Kyrgyzstan held 5 tons, or about 161,000 ounces. Not very much, and that's only about 8% of their overall approximately 1.5 billion in foreign reserves. So even as a percentage of reserve, Kyrgyzstan as of yet doesn't have much gold. However, they only had about 2.5 tons a couple of years ago, so they are increasing their gold reserves. We will start to track Kyrgyzstan just as we started tracking Kazakhstan's gold reserve, because they are central banks that are indeed adding gold to the reserves, while, as we've talked about in the past, other central banks in the West are not adding any at all. They may be repatriating their existing gold, but they are not adding gold. Now, Kyrgyzstan ranks 83rd amongst gold holding nations, and they are a relatively significant gold producer, about 20 tons a year. So they're going to do like what Russia does, what China does, what Kazakhstan does. They're going to buy back their own production, which means there'll be less gold on the market internationally if they buy back their own gold. And if indeed, let's say this guy is only 10% successful with his plan to get the citizens to buy gold, instead of being 21 million ounces bought, it's 2.1 million ounces instead of 650. He gets 60 tons of gold. Still a significant amount for a small country. And that about does. I just wanted to update you on the Kyrgyzstan news that was in Bloomberg today. I've left a link in the blog post, which is linked below, where you can check out that story as well. Thank you very much.